Welcome to Sports Cards for the Win. I'm Phil Chorney. Welcome to my channel. This is a big day. This is my first podcast, YouTube cast, video cast, and I'm excited to kind of share my journey into the world of sports, athletics, fitness, life, if you will, and collecting. So, welcome to my channel. This is our first segment, and on this channel, I plan on inviting friends of mine, folks who I grew up with, who I collected sports cards with, who I played sports with, who've had an impact on my life. Hopefully some heroes of mine. I'm into the music scene as well, so hopefully we'll have some of my musical heroes. We'll talk some sports, we'll talk Baltimore, all things Maryland. I'm an avid Orioles fan. I remember growing up listening to Orioles games on the radio. Chuck Thompson, Fred Manfred, those calls were just, I remember them. You know, last night I went to the game and watched the Orioles win 1-0 over the Washington Nationals. And I remember the guy behind me catching a foul ball, and all I could think of was, give that fan a contract. I mean, it's things like that. Obviously, with Brooks Robinson passing away yesterday, he was I was drawn to his style of baseball. I became a middle infielder myself in my high school years. And now that I'm back in the sport of baseball, playing in adult league, playing middle infield once again. So, anyway, that's the plan for this channel. I hope you guys will join along this journey. Do me a huge favor if you can comment and hit the subscribe button below. You get the best updates, what's going on. So anyway, this channel I'll talk about baseball cards, I'll talk about soccer cards. Every once in a while, maybe we'll get into some football or hockey. These aren't really my primary sports. We'll talk about collecting in general. We'll talk about music. We'll talk about concert posters, concert experiences, things like that. So I hope you're along for the journey. If you have any suggestions, once again, subscribe down below. Comment down below. You can follow me on Instagram at sportscards4, the number 4, the win, or you can follow me at Phil Chorney Be More as well at my 2 Instagram accounts. And this will be the YouTube channel associated and on podcast. So anyway, let's get started today. I want to talk a little bit about how I got back into collecting, what's going on, and why. My parents were cleaning out my basement like most 40-year-olds. Parents will do, and they came across my sports card collection. It's something I've been looking for a while, and I completely forgot where it was, forgot about it, but I've been a huge baseball fan. Obviously this season the Orioles are doing great. I mean, I've supported the Orioles thick and thin. I remember the lean years while I was, in college, coming to games, dismal baseball, but it's still fun to watch. I remember the strong years in the 90s, and the Jeffrey Mayer incident. Jeffrey, if you're out there and watching this channel, I still hold a grudge, but no hard feelings. I get it. You did what you had to do to get the Yankees over the line there, and as well as some of the finer years in the 2015, 16, 17 range, and now obviously with this team being so dynamic, so young, it's just inspiring to watch. And as a fan of baseball, it's fun baseball. It's good baseball. It's technical baseball. We're not relying on the home run. We're relying on speed, agility, solid defensive play. I would argue we had one of the best closers in the game of baseball. Unfortunately, he's injured, but our bullpen could leave some room to be desired. But the coming back of John Means looking great, and Kyle Bradish going 8 last night. Just these are the kind of things that, as a fan of the sport, and obviously the game has changed. It's sped up, which I love. I'm not a huge fan of the shift rule. I think that a Major League ball player should be able to hit against the shift, and if a team is dumb enough to pull a shift, that's on them. That's just me. I love the pitch clock, big fan of that. I don't necessarily love the runner on second, extra innings. I get it. You want to speed the game up. We don't have more 17 in games where Chris Davis comes in and starts throwing a seats pitches. Fine. But yeah, anyway, so that's where we're at today. Brooks, you meant a lot to me as a ball player. I should have prepared better for this. I'm going to step away from the camera for 1 second. And, oh yeah, there it is. Sorry, I stepped the wrong way. This is my Brooks Robinson baseball, signed to Phil, a great player. Brooks Robinson. I've had this probably since about the age of 7 or 8. I wonder if there's a date on there. Yeah, there's a date. 5, so May 1995 is when I got this ball. So that's super cool. Sorry I had to step away from the camera. I know it's not like proper protocol for doing these kind of things, but you can still hear me, and that's okay. So anyway, parents found my collection. They found my baseballs. They found my trophies. All sorts of junk. But going through, I remember having incredible times with baseball cards. I remember seeking them out, walking in Florida, for example. We'd go down there every Christmas. around New Year's and stay with my grandparents, and they would give me $5, $10, $15, and my buddy Mike, who hopefully will come on this show, I shot him a phone call on the way home from the gym this morning, and hopefully he'll call me back. We'll get him to come on and talk about some of our epic baseball card, collection, like things we did, scouring yard sales, getting dropped off. Some kids go to the mall. We got dropped off at the card shop every once in a while, and that's kind of like the coolest thing. And I still remember in my binder, which I'll show you on another video cast, some of those things that I found, and yes, they're still in a binder. A little afraid to remove some of them, put them in top loaders, but we'll get there. But I started looking through stuff, and I started remembering these memories and these great times I had with my friends, trading cards, setting up my team, going through mock games. I mean, these are the kind of things that a 6, 7, 8-year-old boy who plays baseball, travel baseball, Little League baseball, AAU ball, like Babe Ruth League ball, going across the entire region to play against other teams, playing 4 or 5 days a week, getting into high school, playing competitive ball in high school, dreams of playing in college, almost getting there. Pinky getting in the way of good times, fractured eye getting in the way of good times. But these are the kind of things that I look back upon as an almost 40-year-old. I just turned 39, and I'm like, man, that was fun. And my friends, we had fun. We used to play ball in the backyard. We used to play wiffle ball. We used to play tennis baseball. We used to do simulated games. I remember my friend Marshall and his brother Ian, who's a little older. We would line up. Ian would be the catcher. I'd usually play infield. Marshall would be outfield. And we'd span across 4 or 5 backyards. And Ian would just crank, toss ball crank. And he'd call out, hey, runner on second, 1 out. What are you going to do? Simulating these games. This was what I lived for. These were my afternoons, my summers, my falls, my winters. It didn't matter. Baseball cards, watching games, listening to the radio. Anyway, going through my own old collection was awesome. And I want to show 2 cards I completely forgot I found, and I'm really happy I found. These things will be cards I pass down to my kids. The first one is this amazing 1968 Hank Aaron. Luckily, it had been kept in a top loader case, an old top loader case. I took it out, microfibered it. It's a really cool card. I don't know if you can see it, if it's there. It's off-centered. Not a perfect. I'm debating if I'm going to get it graded or not. It's an off-center cut. The corners are crisp, but that off-center will probably do it some harm. I might get it graded. Tell me in the comments what you think, but this card meant a lot to me. I remember where I got this card. I found this card at a yard sale. I remember it was a yard sale, and I think I paid at the time $25, $30 maybe, and that was a lot of money for me. I mean, that was like my entire savings and allowance from that year. I can't remember. It might have been 1997, so I might have been born in 84, so I don't know, 13 years old, right on my bar mitzvah time. I think I used some bar mitzvah money probably for this card. There you go, there it is. That's such a cool card. Hank Aaron, what a great ball player, man. And I remember hearing legend stories about it. Anyway, I had this card top loaded and I forgot about it. But the other one that now I'm like, man, I should have done better with it. This is a 1969 Mickey Mantle in garbage condition. You can see the creases, you can see the stains. It is the white on yellow writing. It probably would grade maybe a 1. I kept it in a penny sleeve, and that's where I found it, in a penny sleeve. I can't believe I did that. I should have known better. I mean, Mickey Mantle's Mickey Mantle, who does that, right? But I remember I got this card. I think I paid $50 or $70 at the time at a card shop. The guy swore it was mislabeled and went to check out, and I remember this story. He wanted to charge me $100 or something, $150. I'm like, well, dude, you labeled it wrong. I didn't probably say dude, but you labeled it wrong, and he honored it. And I went home, penny sleeved it up, and then threw it in a shoebox. And that's where it existed until a couple of weeks ago. So take a look at that. That's kind of cool. But these are the things, these are the stories that I want to highlight. I want to talk to my friends. I want to hear their stories. I want to talk, maybe there's some people in the audience who want to chime in and take a listen and be a part of this thing. Maybe you have stories about collecting. Another friend of mine dropped off his entire collection to my house recently, and I've been going through it and helping him out and grading things. And I'm excited to share some of those finds with you guys through the course of this channel. Like I said, this is new for me. I'm trying to get this thing started. So I hope you'll tune in. This is kind of the intro video. I know this is kind of long, and I'm going to structure these a little bit differently. We'll do some rips probably at some point, not right away. I want to talk more about stories and talk about the sports. So that we'll segment that into what I'm doing now. So I'm playing in a men's adult league. I'm loving the game. I'm inspired because I've gotten on a fitness journey. I've lost a significant amount of weight over the last couple of years, and as of the recording of this video, this coming weekend, October 1st, I'll be participating in my first triathlon. And from there, I'll go into a 10K race, a 10K trail race in a couple of weeks after that. So, and then preparing for a half marathon, hopefully. So, lots going on in my world. I want to give you guys a glimpse into it. I love sports. I love fitness. I love baseball. The game of baseball is a game of inches. It's a game of numbers, a game of statistics. It's kind of all these things encompassing. And it's important to understand that there's many ways to play baseball. There are many types of baseball players. I was never a power hitter. I was a leadoff hitter. I had a high on-base percentage. I am very patient. I was very patient at the plate in my prime. I still am today. Still get hit a lot of walks. And I can hit for contact, and I can hit all over the field. And at the time, I wasn't very fast. In the last year, my speed has increased dramatically through my fitness regimen, so that's kind of fun to see, to try and steal some bases. But I was always quick on my feet. I was a quick thinker. In the field, my glove, I model myself like a Brooks Robinson, like a Cal Ripken, two of my idols playing the infield. You know, always clean, soft hands. Always get your body in front of the ball. Even if you bobble it, because your body is in the right position, you're able to recover and still make the out. Communication, constant communication with your infielders. Always talk to your teammates. Those are kind of things, the way I play ball. And that's, I think, translated really well into this adult league that I play in, and into how I view the game of baseball, how I view watching it on TV, how I watch it live. And I hope I have two young girls, and we've taken them to a number of games. You know, I don't know that they'll be athletes, softball, baseball players, whatever they choose, but I think they appreciate the sport. They appreciate the time we spend with them, and I hope a lot of other dads out there are having those experiences with their kids too. So drop. This is just the start of this adventure. I hope you'll follow along. Tell me what kind of content you want to see. Maybe we'll take you to some of my games. We'll film some of that stuff. Maybe we'll get some content from my triathlon. We'll get, like I said, we're gonna get some guests on here. I'm hoping to get some fellow former athletes, some current athletes, friends, talk about collecting and talk about the sports card industry. We'll do some ripping. Maybe we'll do some breaks. We'll kind of do a little bit of everything. We'll talk music, for sure. Music. I manage touring bands. I help own music festivals. Help produce music festivals. I love music. I love bluegrass, Americana, and folk music. It's kind of like baseball to me. It's an American institution, right? So, thank you for tuning in. This is just the first of many, hopefully. And let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, follow me on Instagram, Phil Chorney Be More, sports cards, the number 4, The Win. You can check out what we have on sale on our eBay store. We have tons of cards for sale, tons of collectibles for sale. Let me know what you want to find. We got concert posters for sale. And then also you can follow me on this brand new YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and comment below what you want to see. And until next time, soft hands, full hearts. Love you, Baltimore. Cheers.